Today, I want you to pause for a moment and imagine a door being slammed shut in front of you, not once, but again and again. Imagine being told that your dreams are too big, your mind too curious, and your place too small for education. This is not just a story about denial. This is a story about defiance. It is the story of a woman who was denied education, yet refused to let ignorance be her destiny, and who later stood at the front of a university classroom as a professor, shaping minds that society once believed she would never have. She was born into circumstances where education for girls was considered unnecessary, even dangerous. Books were seen as rebellion, questions as disrespect, and ambition as a flaw. While others walked to school, she stayed behind, watching knowledge pass her by like a train she was never allowed to board. But here is the first powerful truth: being denied education did not kill her hunger to learn. In silence, that hunger grew stronger. When the world told her to lower her eyes, she raised her curiosity. When doors were locked, she searched for windows. This is where bravery often begins, not loudly, but quietly, in the refusal to accept limits imposed by others. She taught herself with borrowed books, whispered lessons, and stolen moments of learning. Every page she read felt like an act of resistance. Every new word was a victory. And make no mistake, this path was lonely. There were days filled with doubt, fear, and exhaustion. But here is the hook we must not ignore. She did not wait for permission to believe in herself. She learned before anyone believed she could. She prepared for a future she was told would never exist. That kind of courage is not common, it is revolutionary. Over time, opportunity finally met preparation. Formal education came late, but when it arrived, she embraced it with unmatched determination. She was older than her classmates, different from her peers, but sharper in purpose. Each challenge only strengthened her resolve. She did not study to prove others wrong, she studied to prove herself right. And step by step, degree by degree, she transformed pain into purpose. The girl once silenced became a voice of knowledge. The woman once denied education became an authority in it. Standing as a university professor, she did more than teach subjects, she taught possibility. Every lecture carried her journey. Every classroom became a message. Your beginning does not decide your ending. She became a living lesson for students who doubted themselves, a symbol for girls who were told to stay behind, and a reminder to society that wasted potential is a choice, not fate. She was denied education, but she was never denied a mind, and that single truth became the foundation of her bravery. From an early age, the message was clear and cruel: learning was not meant for her. Classrooms were for others, books were unnecessary, and curiosity was something she was expected to silence. Yet even as opportunities were taken away, her inner world remained alive. She listened, observed, remembered, and questioned quietly. While the world assumed her intellect would fade without schooling, something powerful was forming beneath the surface. This is often how brave women begin, not with applause or support, but with resistance that no one else can see. Every time she watched others walk toward education while she stayed behind, a deeper resolve took shape. Instead of accepting the role assigned to her, she chose to protect her curiosity like a secret flame. She understood something many never do: education is not only a place you go, it is a decision you make. When books were unavailable, she learned from conversations. When teachers were absent, life itself became her classroom. Each unanswered question pushed her to search harder for understanding. Each limitation sharpened her focus. This was not rebellion for attention, it was rebellion for survival. There were moments of doubt, moments when silence felt heavier than hope, and moments when giving up would have been easier than believing. But here is the hook that defines her courage. She refused to let rejection define her capacity. She did not wait for permission to think, to imagine, or to grow. Instead of asking why she was excluded, she asked how she could still move forward. That shift in mindset turned denial into determination. What others saw as an ending, she treated as a delay. Over time, Her hunger for learning became disciplined, intentional, and unstoppable. She trained her mind to focus, to retain, and to dream beyond visible circumstances. While society underestimated her, she invested in herself quietly and consistently. This is the strength of brave women. They build power in silence long before the world notices. By the time opportunity eventually appeared, she was not unprepared or uncertain. She was ready. Denying her education did not weaken her. It strengthened her will, sharpened her vision, and proved that the first and most important classroom is the mind itself. While society tried to silence her ambition, she chose to educate herself in ways no one could control, and that decision changed everything. When formal learning was denied, she did not surrender her dreams to circumstance. Instead, she became her own teacher. In quiet corners and stolen moments, she began building knowledge piece by piece. Borrowed books became treasures, overheard lessons became guidance, and every new idea felt like an act of courage. This was not easy learning. It was learning under pressure, learning without applause, learning driven purely by belief. And here is the powerful hook. When a woman educates herself against resistance, she is not just gaining knowledge, she is reclaiming her power. She studied in secrecy, not because she was ashamed, but because the world around her feared what an educated woman could become. Curiosity was treated as disobedience, and ambition as a threat. Yet, she refused to let fear dictate her future. Each page she read strengthened her confidence. Each concept she understood weakened the lies she had been told about her limitations. Slowly, the voice that once doubted herself was replaced by a stronger one that asked deeper questions and demanded better answers. This inner transformation mattered more than any certificate because it reshaped how she saw herself. There were nights when exhaustion tested her resolve and days when progress felt invisible. But brave women understand something critical. Growth often happens when no one is watching. She learned to trust the process, to value consistency over recognition, and to move forward even when validation was absent. Instead of complaining about what she lacked, she maximized what she had. This mindset separated her from defeat. Self-education became her silent protest, her preparation for a future she was determined to reach. As her knowledge grew, so did her courage to think independently. She no longer accepted inherited beliefs without questioning them. She discovered that learning was not just about facts, but about freedom. Freedom to choose, to speak, to imagine a life beyond imposed boundaries. By educating herself, she proved a powerful truth: no system can permanently suppress a woman who is committed to learning. Even in silence, she was becoming unstoppable, shaping a mind strong enough to challenge the very limits meant to confine her. When formal opportunity finally appeared, it did not arrive at the right time according to society's timeline, but brave women do not measure their worth by clocks or calendars. She entered formal education later than others, carrying years of denial behind her and hope ahead of her. Walking into classrooms where most students were younger, more confident, and seemingly ahead, she felt the weight of comparison, but she refused to let it slow her. Instead of feeling embarrassed by a late start, she recognized it as a second chance earned through patience and perseverance. This is where her comeback truly began. She did not approach learning casually because she understood what it cost her to be there. Every lecture was valued, every assignment treated with seriousness, and every exam faced with focused determination. While others complained about pressure, she felt gratitude. While others studied to pass, she studied to transform. Her late entry did not make her weaker, it made her sharper. Years of self-education had trained her to think deeply, question critically, and absorb knowledge with purpose. What once felt like a disadvantage quietly turned into her greatest strength. There were moments when exhaustion tested her resolve and self-doubt tried to remind her of the years she had lost. But here is the hook that defines her resilience. She did not mourn lost time. She maximized the present. She understood that regret wastes energy, while commitment multiplies progress. Each small success reinforced her belief that she belonged in those academic spaces. Slowly, the fear of being behind was replaced with confidence built on performance and discipline. Her journey became proof that comebacks do not need to be loud to be powerful. She did not seek sympathy for starting late. She demanded respect through excellence. Professors noticed her focus, peers respected her insight, and challenges became milestones rather than barriers. Step by step, qualification by qualification, she advanced, not to compete with others, but to honor her own journey. What makes this stage extraordinary is not just that she caught up, but that she surpassed expectations. She transformed delayed opportunity into focused momentum, showing that timing does not define talent, and age does not limit ambition. For brave women, a late start is not a weakness. It is often the beginning of an unstoppable rise driven by clarity, discipline, and purpose. Every obstacle she encountered was heavy enough to stop an average spirit, but brave women do not experience hardship the same way. They transform it. Doubt followed her closely, often disguised as concern from others who questioned her choices, her pace, and even her presence in academic spaces. Some whispered that she was too late, too different, or too ambitious. Instead of absorbing those voices, she learned to filter them. She understood that doubt from others often reflects their fears, not her limits. This awareness became her shield, allowing her to move forward without carrying unnecessary weight. Failure, too, became part of her journey, but it never became her identity. There were exams that challenged her confidence and moments when exhaustion tested her discipline. Yet here is the hook that defines her mindset. She treated every setback as instruction, not as judgment. Each mistake revealed where she needed to grow, and each criticism sharpened her focus. Rather than fearing failure, she studied it. Rather than avoiding challenges, she leaned into them, knowing that resilience is built through resistance. What made her exceptional was not perfection, but persistence. She developed routines that protected her progress, habits that strengthened her focus, and discipline that carried her through moments of self-doubt. When the path felt overwhelming, she returned to her purpose. She remembered why she started, what she had overcome, and how far she had already come. This reflection did not slow her, it fueled her. She understood that confidence is not loud, it is earned quietly through consistency. Over time, rejection and skepticism lost their power over her. Academic excellence became her response, not her defense. She did not argue with doubt, she outperformed it. Her work spoke where explanations were unnecessary. Each achievement added another layer of confidence, not arrogance, but grounded belief in her abilities. She learned to trust herself, to stand firm in her choices, and to remain focused even when recognition was delayed. This transformation is the heart of brave women's stories. Obstacles did not harden her, they refined her. Doubt did not silence her, it strengthened her voice. By turning every challenge into fuel, she proved that true confidence is built through endurance, and excellence is often the quiet result of a woman who refuses to give up, no matter how heavy the road becomes. She rose from being excluded from classrooms to leading them, and that transformation carries a power that words alone can barely contain. Standing at the front of a university lecture hall, she was not just a professor delivering knowledge, she was living evidence that destiny can be challenged and rewritten. Every time she faced her students, she remembered the girl who once stood outside closed doors, told education was not meant for her. That memory did not bring bitterness, it brought purpose. This is the hook that defines her legacy. She did not forget where she came from, and she used it to guide where others could go. Her presence in academia was itself a statement. She taught with depth, empathy, and authority because her understanding of education was born from struggle, not privilege. She knew the value of opportunity because she had lived without it. Lessons were no longer just theory, they were infused with resilience, discipline, and belief. Students felt it immediately. They were not just listening to a professor, they were learning from a woman who had fought for every page she once dreamed of reading openly. She became a symbol for those who felt invisible, especially young women who doubted whether they belonged in academic spaces. Without preaching, her journey spoke. Without demanding attention, her success inspired. She proved that leadership is not about status, but about impact. By mentoring, guiding, and encouraging critical thinking, she multiplied her courage through others. Every student she empowered became part of a ripple effect that extended far beyond the classroom walls. What makes her rise extraordinary is not only that she reached the top, but that she carried others with her. She challenged outdated beliefs, questioned exclusionary systems, and reshaped what authority looked like in education. Her voice, once dismissed, now shaped discussions, influenced research, and contributed to knowledge itself. This was not revenge against a system that denied her, it was transformation of it. In brave women's stories, the highest victory is not personal success alone, but the ability to open doors for those who come next. She did exactly that. From being denied education to becoming the one who grants it, she embodied the truth that courage grows when shared. Her life became a powerful reminder that when a woman rises through resistance, she does not rise alone, she lifts generations with her. So today, let this story stay with you. Let it challenge the limits you've accepted and the excuses you've inherited. If a woman denied education can rise to become a university professor, then no setback you face is final. Remember this, dreams delayed are not dreams denied. Courage, when combined with persistence, can rewrite even the harshest stories. And somewhere right now, someone is watching you the way she once watched that train of opportunity pass by. What they will learn from you depends on whether you choose to stop or choose to rise.